Dear Dearie. So here we are on Wednesday, September 11th. One of those days that you got to remember, because it's just the way it is. 2 days from now, Friday the 13th. What are your special plans for Friday the 13th? Are you going to go around doing special tricks on everybody? Or are you going to try to hide inside your house, your apartment, your hovel, your whatever, and try not to get pranked upon yourself? What is it going to be with you? Right. Anyway, so Friday the 13th. A lot of people think it's a very unlucky day, at least in American and in most Anglo-Saxon cultures. I believe 13 is considered an unlucky number. Conversely, is it conversely? Anyway, on the other hand, in Asian cultures, 4 is a very unlucky number, and 8 is a very lucky number. Interesting. I don't know why that is. I haven't researched it, so I don't know why 8 is a lucky number, but 4 is an unlucky number. A good place to see that is the movie Ju-on, the original. I think it's the original theatrical release, because there's like 8 million versions of that, and I don't mean the American adaptation of The Grudge. I mean the original Japanese movie. And I think THEENK. Think it was that one where one of the girls in the thing, she goes back to school to try to find her brother who's not home yet. She gets there and his bike is there, and she goes into one of the labs and she's walking around and she gets scared. She hides under her desk and her phone goes off and she looks at it and the display is just like 4444444, and she starts to freak out. At the same time, the way the camera angle works is that it's just above the desk, right at the edge of the desk, looking down at her under the desk, and you can just barely see the top corner of the desk. And you can see this white pair of feet. And it's Toshio's feet, the little boy that... That movie? That's some scary shit. Just a little bit freaky, I'm just saying. Anyway, so yeah, that's one good place to see it. 444444444. But like I said, I don't know why it is those numbers. I'm not exactly sure why 13 is considered unlucky either. I know that in magical circles, 3 is the beginning of a cycle, and 5 is the number of man, 6 is supposed to be the number of the devil, 7 is supposed to be the number of God. Whatever, I don't care. It's probably stuff that got usurped by Christians from heathen faiths before it. Anyway. Right. So, watch out. On Friday the 13th, there's no telling what might happen, especially so close to Halloween, although I'm sure that most stores probably have their Easter decorations out by now. I mean, I understand wanting to get a jump on the sales for the next holiday, but the next 6 holidays? Looking at my notes, I don't have much. But one of the things I've had this weird compulsion. It's a mild compulsion because I haven't actually done anything about it yet. To go to like the hardware store, the gardening department of a hardware store, and buy. They have this stuff that's like a mulch that's got grass seeds kind of impregnated, mixed in with it. And what you can do is you can take a scoop of this stuff and throw it down on the concrete and water it, and the mulch acts like soil. I mean, you can grow, grass right there on the concrete. I mean, don't, that would be bad for the concrete. But I keep thinking, now our yard, I should preface this. It's a little late for that. I should say that the yard here, the sprinklers don't spray very far. So there are these green circles in the front yard where the water gets to, and then there's these dead areas around it where the water can't reach. And so I find myself thinking, and it's not just like dead grass, it is almost bare earth, dead. I find myself thinking that what I want to do is go and get some of this mulch and spread it around on the parts that excuse me, that don't have grass and, water it in and get it growing and try to get it established, because probably in the next month or two here, it's going to start raining really, really heavily. And I would love to have something resembling kind of a lawn in place before that happens. That would work in the front yard. The problem is the backyard. The backyard has the same situation where the emitters don't spray far enough to get all the areas of the yard. But there's a big pine tree that shades most of the backyard, and it's constantly dropping needles, and I'm convinced now, I think it's actually sick and quite possibly dying. It's just more and more needles are just, entire branches are just starting to go dead and brown. And I'm like, this is not right for an evergreen tree. Something is wrong here. Is it possible that when the guys came through last year and were cutting off branches and stuff because it was growing through the power cables, and they were like, nope, we're trimming this tree back. And I was like, I have no say in this, right? Even if it were my house, I don't really think I'd have a lot of say in whether they did it or not. Not sure exactly what's going on with that, but it worries me a little bit. And I'm not sure if there's enough light back there to really get the, any grass seed germinating and growing the way it should be. But I think there may be other factors at play as well with the tree and whatnot. Because there's enough light that some of the grass is growing, but there's like spots where we get these huge, really neat looking mushrooms growing in the backyard. And as I am not a mycologist, I am not going to go out and say, oh, this is this kind. No, they just look deadly. So it's like, how about we don't play around with those? Now, generally, that means that there's a lot of, healthy decomposition going on in the yard. If you get, mushrooms sprouting in your yard and whatnot, that's actually a sign of a good, healthy ecosystem. It means things are decomposing the way they're supposed to. And yeah, but then why isn't the grass growing? Something's not quite right there. Not sure what it is. Well, we are slowly encroaching on the 8-minute mark here, and I can't really think of much else to talk about. Like I said, I will be dog sitting this weekend. I may take my rig over there and see if I can do some recording. I think my preamp is dying or dead or something. I think it's busted. I think what I may need to do with this particular microphone, it's a Rode Procaster, so it may have enough of like firmware, hardware stuff built into it that I can skip the preamp, possibly. I'm not sure. But in that case, what I will need is an XLR to a USB microphone cable, and I just got to go by the music store and pick one up and see if it works. If it does work and I can bypass the preamp, then that would be awesome. I don't know. We'll see how it works. And now we've passed the 8-minute mark and we're closing in on the 9-minute mark. What the hell? But yeah, not much else really going on right now. Just kind of waiting for the rains to begin. Yeah. All right, so there you go. I will let you guys go instead of keeping you chained to your monitor, watching me talk about nothing. And I will probably talk to you guys tomorrow. Good? Good. Well, until then, be careless.